boards on there for everybody. It's something a little different and new, so feel free to utilize that. Of course, that's the one timer goes for right away. You can do a Blondie stream? I feel like that's a rare thing to hear from you. There we go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Michael, I hate you. I hate that that's the first thing you go for. Alright. The least expected versus the Goons. We've talked about these kind of compositions a ton. Getting this ADC to late game, what that's going to look like. This Mage Nike Kuzenbo should run away with this early, given the pressure. And obviously a big note, this Nike going into a Jotuns first. I love the Sunder pickup from this Atlas. If this Atlas is able to drop ult and gets a big Sunder, that could be game-changing. On her, forced to jump away based off the poke. A Heavenly already used. Kakolin trying to find any damage. Kuzma push back in. Does he have the dash? The on her. We have 2 sets tonight as of this moment. Sunder off the mark. And Agni beads her forced. On her able to pick it up. Do they find a return kill, or is it going to turn in to double? The Kakolin able to find a double kill on our minute and a half in. These are 2 games prior played, if that's what you mean, Taylor, yes. The Goons with a nice little start. 2 kills to this Kakolin and a purple buff to start the game off. Sending the backs, looking for those spikes, preparation for next wave in red. Yeah, I posted in results. They didn't have a spectator, so of course I needed to spectate it. A little unfortunate. I wonder if he's going to be able to step up. Kuzenbo actually stepping up to grab Scepter. I.E. Johnson, red spawned in. Agni trying to get a little poke on this on her, forces to jump away. This Nike does have blinks, so this on her's got to be a little careful on this path back in. Colin just sitting there raging against the wall. Nice little triple ult by Kakolin. The red buff is secured by the Goons, but how's this post-fight look considering it on her? And this Kakolin are chunked out on her, forced to ult cancel as the Nike blinks in with ult. Atlas dropping on. Does he have the damage to really finish this? And the Atlas able to pick up the Agni because he didn't have the beads. Almost goes down, but helps his team pick up a third. It's kind of a dream start here for the Goons going into game number 1. Should be first item spikes across the board for the Goons. And even a T1. I'm surprised the on her not actually having enough for Dom. It doesn't. Just over 100 off. That should be the back for the dominance for the on her. Kakolin going into prophetic. I'm assuming Prophetic Midgard. Or no, Prophetic Mystical. Excuse me. Purple spawning shortly. Like I said, this Nike did go Jotuns, but a nice little push by Kuzenbo. Pushing that Atlas back under tower helps confirm the kill, but a return kill due to the squishiness of this Nike. They did find their nice first kill. It does go on this Kuzenbo. I would like to see that on the Agni. However, you take what you can get. And really good CC by this Kuzenbo, pushing the Atlas under. Ultimately, a 1-for-1 and a neutral buff that goes to the Goons. Continues on this almost 1,500 gold lead at 5 minutes. Red spawning in. Red is pulled by the on her. Nike does have blink. Agni's hovering. That's both neutral buffs for the Goons. Take a quick peek at leveling order. Colin's got to be careful. He's the target of most of this aggression. But the Nike ult, not able to kill the kid Colin and immediately turn based off that extension. Agni forced to beads the Atlas pull. Just taking a quick peek back at level orders. I'm interested to see if this Agni goes bobble. I don't think you can because you're going into this double tank. You might have spam ability, but do you really have any tank shred at that point? It would appear that way. Johnson spawning in shortly. Goons looking for a back, prepping for red purple, get their second item full spike. They are creating somewhat of a lead. The Impale doing a ton to that Agni. Onher's got to be a little careful. He is being baited, but he's able to find that kill. Unfortunately, he's the one being pushed under. Horn shard popped by Kuzenbo. Almost a solo kill for the Onher. Unfortunately, not able to secure it, but red should easily go in favor of the Goons. How are we doing, Kershaw? Red secured. Purple is up. Colin's creating a fair amount of space for this against this Agni Atlas. Unfortunately, not able to pick up Nike due to the one knockup immunity. Nice auto attack impale by on her. Forced to jump away off Agni cast. Atlas now under tower. 2 ultimates expended. Should easily result in another pick. This Kuzenbo able to pick up the Atlas for the second time. Take him under tower. Red was secured in the meantime by this Kakolin. Horrific for Heavenly. On her, force the beads. Nike's here. Least expected with picking 2 members, staggering these death timers, finding a way back in. This Agni has to be careful. Almost get caught out by Kukulkan. Instead, does the Kuzenbo find it? Kukulkan's able to jump away. Does the Nike go for it? She does. And not able to actually secure the kill. Geller with a massive raid. I appreciate you, big dog. Welcome, welcome. It's actually kind of crazy. I would have thought the Nike would have been able to kill that. This was roughly about 1,500 gold. Now completely chopped in half. Least expected. Recovering some ground lost early. Red is spawning in shortly. I'm keeping an eye on like the item spikes mainly for this on her going into this Kins. And second relics as well. Blink for this Nike Kukulkan. And a horrific. Goons are positioning over for Bull. Looking to bait a fight. Bull's pulled. Looks like this is the fight they want. Meanwhile, the Kukulkan was looking for this 1v1 on the Agni. The Kuzenbo doing a fair amount. Creating some really good separation. Does the Nike not able to kill the Kukulkan once again? Does the Honor make it out now? Surely not, right? This is a series of unfortunate events. Kuzenbo fighting into an Atlas with minions. On her's back. Agni trying to buy his tank some space. It's kind of an awkward fight. A little split there as a Kukulkan with the Agni. Switch targets a little too much. Purple pulled by the Goons. Looks like red is up as well. Goons starting to recover a little bit of that lead that they had early. I'd like to note, this is a double blink. This Atlas and Kukulkan, they're looking to be the engage. Red secured by least expected. Now on the Agni. Really good damage on the onto the on her from this Agni. Horrific dropped. Actually, the Kukulkan went under tower here. Is he able to find the damage? Kuzenbo, instead of pushing him under bird, pushing him into a wall. Atlas now looking for this Agni. These fights are so split. Agni's pathing back in. Goons have to be really careful here with this blue. Ultimately recognize it and look to drop. Honestly, I feel like part of this, the Goons are so close to just, they actually focus target selection, or that front line recollapses back inward. They're going to pick one and start to really run with this pressure. That all being said, least expected can easily turn that back around. Finding a pick of their own. Both these teams just need to find their footing, a little bit of communication. I'm a little surprised. This Nike went for a sovereignty over a Midgard into an ADC slash on her. Atlas placing a ward, looking for a possible wrap here. Kuzumbo's doing a fair amount to this on her. Kuzumbo dash gets caught there by the Kukulkan ult. Least expected, doing really well to get some big poke off here. Goons getting a little poked out. Red and purple spawning. Least expected should just take this ground they just won. Little concern. Kuzma is tanking. Agni drops beads for the Atlas pull. Both neutral buffs and Johnson are on the ground. I want to see least expected grab some of this farm. They've won that poke battle. Kukulkan is on the way back. Kukulkan does have blink. Gotta be a little conscious. There's the blink. Nice little pull from the Atlas. He's able to find the pick. But is Nike able to find the return pick on the other end? Both relics are used. Nike decides to drop it. Let's get Cullen turning into a little bit of a raid boss here. Is he able to find a second? Damage is... This double front line with that double blink, finding the Agni in now into the Nike. Colin should go down here. Kuzum, the Kukulkan is looking to take this fight actively, baits it in for the Atlas joining in late. And a full DSI'd staggering death timers as the on her is able to join. There's really no need to force this. Kukulkan, surely somebody dies here. No. Tell me no. Alright. I would not in a million years if not the on her was going to be the one to die. And it looks like he does. They are able to find a pick. On her's down for 30. Kuzumo just joining. They save the bird. What are they going to do with this invaluable time? Colin. They drop heavily to buy some separation. Agni should be out with that. No one's going to argue this Kukulkan is putting an obscene amount of work in. I'm wondering if you're least expected, what is that win condition, or what are you looking to get? Like, this Nike has to get on top of this on her. I wish this was a mid guard, have a little bit more damage. Poke this Nike or the on her down a little bit, given he doesn't have much sustain outside a cowl or a health chalice. But our first glance at Bobble here. It's going on least expected for this Kuzenbo. On her, forced to jump away. Good impaled by some separation, but is he going to go down to this dive? The Nike unable to pick the on her. Now, do they get punished for this extension? It's just the tanks. Trying to buy some poke. The Honor will be coming back in. Both ults used. Are the tanks able to find a pick on this Kuzumo? Surely not, right? Oh. Atlas ult just off the mark. Are they able to find it? They are. In a 2v3 situation. The Goons able to pick up this Kuzumo. The Anhur just grabbing Bull. It is looking dire for least expected. Sunder's used. That should spell the end. Fortunately for Nike, able to have the ult to jump away. Instead, it's the Agni that goes down. Nike with no allies in sight for 20 seconds. The last line of defense between the Goon squad and the Titan. Nike's got to be careful. Unfortunately, going down herself should easily spell the end with 10 seconds left. The Goons looking to take game number 1. Calling a little bit of a raid boss, huh? No, I mean, you're a double damage. You have Jotun's Heartseeker. I hate the Sov pick. You need to be going mid-guard there. I don't think Sov does what you think it's going to do into a warrior. Especially with the prot shred here and here. Like, both these gods with some prot shred. You have the Sunder here. The anti-shield for horrific. Like, it's just not going to feel great. We did get a bobble, though. There's the 50%. We didn't get to see it play out much, but... How we doing, Kurt? Alright. I'm just fucking dumb. I'll figure that out in a second. I'll do it in between games. I'm annoyed now. Alright. I'm seeing this right. I know I wasn't paying attention, but... It's like Hoi Baron Kamazats. Who won last game is how it's listed right here, Carbon. 1-0 to the Goons. Goons looking to run in Hoi Baron Kamazats into a Cthulhu Achilles Vulcan. Hypothetically, this should have a ton of pressure from the least expected with this Vulcan pick. I think a lot of this can come down to this Baron facilitating with this 2 or ultimate. You're chilling. You do not have to apologize, dear sir. And the Kamazats is going a little bit unique of a build with the T1 Magical. I would have thought there would have been a Thebes or just straight into Jotuns. Instead, deciding to go into Magical D first item. Plenty of missed abilities this early on. Kamazats getting chunked down. Vulcan gaining some pressure going into purple buff. I think I'm all going to be thinking about is how to fix Blurp's audio this entire time now. But purple is secured by the least expected. Red spawning in. No first blood. Least expected for all 6 members at level 5. Oh, he tries to contest. Unfortunately, unable to. Vulcan dropping alt, trying to get a cheeky... I don't even know if that would have the damage to find a pick there, but looking for a little damage out. And of course, Imagine Dragon starts playing. It's a possible invade by the Goons when they were down in pressure, losing both neutral buffs. Instead, they're the ones trying to take the fight. Immediately, as 2 ultimates for an Achilles beads. I'm a little surprised by them stepping up to try to contest blue, but trying to find as much pressure as possible. Oh, are you looking for a cheeky bounce there? This is quite an extension here by this Camazotz. Gonna be forced to jump away. Heavenly used. Do they have the chase down potential, or is it gonna be a Heavenly for an ult? I can say this is one of the few times I've seen Camazotz go this kind of defense early on. It's another Vulcan ult expended. Thinking maybe they're going to step up for Johnson. Red and purple are in. A little bit of shift here in pressure. Least expected had neutral buffs just before this. Now it looks like the Goons are looking to take red. Cthulhu looking for a little bit of a wrap. Achilles isn't here, so this fight isn't one least expected. Feel comfortable enough to drop ults for. Camazotz has his full item. Decides to go Genji's first. No members of the Goons having Aegis for this Achilles execution. Electing to step off. Now that the least expected 3 strong are here. Let's take a quick peek at leveling orders again. It looks like in the meantime, I'm checking leveling orders. So you look for a little bit of a fight on this Vulcan. Drops ultimate. Vulcan forced to beat the Baron ult. Vulcan drops ult once more. These are full range Vulcan ults. Vulcan pops, horn shard, stepping up, trying to contest / steal this blue. Successfully done. Cthulhu goes into ult. Do they have the damage to find a possible pick here? Achilles steps forward and goes down his first blood as the Cthulhu is trying to keep the Baron low enough for a possible execution. Unfortunately, a little bit of a bait there. Camazotz was trying to find his own steal. Unfortunately, unable to do so. Cthulhu with no ult and no dash, pulled back in by the Baron. Looking for yet another kill here for the Goons. Is Vulcan still hunting? Camazotz is able to find a pick, or get picked, excuse me, by this Achilles. I thought a possible double kill there. Unfortunately, not able to secure it with that execution onto the Baron. To be honest, I'm not 100% certain how to call some of these fights because they are so spread. Achilles going brawlers into breastplate, prioritizing the anti-heal with this Baron Camazotz. Baron and Vulcan both taking over level 12. Don't quite yet have second relic. We had decent spike starting for both these rosters. These Baron 2s for this heal is absolutely insane. Going into a little bit of pressure. Do they find the pick? They do. Achilles the first to go down. Can the least expected find any kind of return? This Camazotz with his Genjis feeling oh so confident to step up and find some aggression. Should be just the signal of all these backs leading into the next red purple. Especially when you start talking about second relics coming online. Baron finds an invaluable too. Does Cthulhu get picked because of it though? Decent meatball into a nice little divine proc here for Vulcan. Able to find a successful steal. Gamma finds the 2 for the slow. Are they able to find the pick? It should be the end of it. The Achilles able to find a return, however. With execution, goes for the second. Achilles forced to execute away. Gamazot's got to be careful. He has this Majdi with the Achilles doing a substantial amount. Looking for a possible second. Cthulhu going into ultimate. Baron's down for 4 seconds. I would love to see this be a possible T1. You have the wave. Like that, possibly a missed opportunity. They do at minimum grab Johnson to make sure that the Goons are able to heal up this tower. I mean, red buff goes hard. Start talking about second relics. Double Aegis, I'm not surprised by that. You're dealing into an execution, so I like that play here. This is a double blink by least expected. Can they find the aggression? Baron steps forward, gets a nice little horrific. Can he find the damage? Forces Vulcan beads. Good Aegis by this Baron. Aegis is out, the Vulcan and Achilles home almost simultaneously. Achilles actually blinks in, forces Kama ult. Cthulhu goes into ult, unfortunately unable to finish that pick. The least expected secure T1. Baron steps forward, unable to find the pick onto the Vulcan. Possible little return. Baron is hovering. There's no way, right? He's able to find the pick onto the Vulcan. I'm a little shocked by that. They are pathing over wards, so the least expected should know they're here. Achilles does have ult, Cthulhu does not. He is rooted in place, but these double frontline splitting targets. Red is up for the least expected. It is kind of crazy. Goons were in control, least expected, now in control themselves. I'm just wondering how they close it out. You have some decent pressure with this Vulcan, but you gotta find that damage. When you start talking about damage charts, it's just a matter of execution. This Camazotz kinda has to do the same. Nice little double bounce on the Vulcan. Joust is looking for a wrap. Does he find it on this Vulcan? There's the blink. Heads to the 2. The Heavenly's there. Does he have the damage? Baron with the Aegis again. Double relic by the Ho Yi. Kind of keep a flickering back and forth. The Yi's able to get out. Baron survives, but does this Vulcan get picked by the Kama? Achilles blinks into the Baron ultimate. Does that end up costing them, though? Goons are here and healthy. Gamma jumps in, has ultimate up. Trying to create some separation. He's got 2 archers, both going down to the Baron turret. And Baron looks like he's the target. He forced the jump away from Vulcan ult. Least expected, able to pick up the Baron down for 40 seconds. Execution coming up shortly. Vulcan's pathing over to Bull. We don't have any percent pen on this Vulcan. 30% cooldown, some anti-health is divine, and a Soul Reaver. We're looking for a very similar build on this Achilles' his last game. Goes Brawler's Breastplate, Oni, Heartseeker. I'm assuming he's into a Glass Shield last. Looks like another possible bobble as well for this Cthulhu. Looking to Raspy, looking to do a repeat as far as going bobble last item. Fight split once again. Both teams backing up. Instead, least expected, pathing deep. Looking to pull this bull. There is no word vision here. Goons are on wave. This might actually go in favor of least expected. Vulcanalt was dropped. However, in the meantime, a possible split push as the Goons find T1. Cthulhu blinks on this Yi. Achilles blinks over the wall. Camazot's nowhere near. Does this Yi get the chance to survive? Unfortunately, going down while this Vulcan kites around this Baron. Aegis used. This recollapse could result in game and force this to game number 3 done correctly. Achilles using ult to close gap. Does this root come forward for enough damage? They find it. Oh, he's still down for 16. They need to push here. Camazotz doesn't have ultimate. Least expected in the driver's seat. They have Bull. They'll have Baron down for 30. Yi spawning now. Camazotz gets a nice little fire blank in. Misses the 2. The Vulcan steps into a little corridor. Get a little awkward for himself with this Yi. Goes down to the Kama. Now the Yi's in a weird spot. Are they able to find the pick? They lose the Vulcan, but find the pick on the Camazotz. These 1-for-1 trades. Just the pathing off just a little bit. So Cthulhu not actually electing to go bobble, sticking with the 40% cooldown. I'm assuming going into a contagion here. Hold on. The Vulcan doesn't have beats for 20 seconds. And they call it out. They immediately look to pick the DPS off a cheeky gank. We haven't seen much of that. Recognize this Vulcan doesn't have beads for about 20 seconds while the tanks step up. Immediately find that pick. Now he's down for 40. A little bit of a shift of a lead, if you will, for the Goons. They're in the driving seat. Yi pulls Bull. Both tanks are backed. Should easily result in a Bull now for the Goons. It's kind of crazy to say that play might have been the game-changing play that for them. If Goons are able to pull this out and find a victory, that play alone will have decided it. We've seen some interesting, like, backdoor-esque with Sunny on and on her. Now a Baron Hou waiting for a Vulcan to come out of spawn when games matter most. Cthulhu just pushing the Goons back. That is a big ult expended. Hou walking it back. They have enough time. It's gonna be close. Bull's wearing off. Baron's here alone. Can they find this pick? A big Aegis once again for the Vulcan ult. Does he survive this? Unfortunately, Achilles getting juked out of the ult. Now being pulled, forces beads. Camazot's trying to find a pick. This could be game if these team members go down. Camazot's trying to secure it on this Vulcan. Hou able to secure the Cthulhu while the Camazot simultaneously picks up a pick on the Vulcan. Achilles the only one here. Are they going to be able to tank this up as there's a fire wave securing the bird in the meantime? Damage is there. Achilles is now here alone. And plenty of damage coming out from this Hou. No members for 30 seconds. And 3 brute minions here. And a GG. Goons taking a 2-0. Oh. A crap ton of damage. That pick, it's crazy to say that that pick is probably going to be the difference to that set. Crazy. I hate that that works. Because you all know there's going to be a lot more of that in ranked. Alright, let me take a quick second. See if I can figure this out. Not more what? Some weird ganks.